All right. Try to catch up on chat. Hi guys. Oh. Catching up. Hold on. Hi Elise. Hi Phoebe. Hey Otto. Mother is always happy to see Otto. One day we will meet for real. Hey Dan. Hey on horseback. Hi Alex. Hi Nicole. Catching up. Hi Misha. Hi Mikey. Hi Francis. Hi phone. Hi Tsukabu. Hold on. Yeah, you see Dalgona, that's because it is. Catching up. I'm sorry, I can't really read everything, but yeah, I don't want to. I will come back and read them after, but yeah, okay. Can you guys hear me? Just to make sure. Yeah, it is super thick. Of course I choke on my coffee. What else? What else is new? Hey Dominic. Hey Melissa. Hi guys. Loud and clear, that's great. FCon. What? Wait, what? Someday we'll meet for real. FCon intensifies. Would go way better than Tanacon. Oh my gosh, Tanacon was a mess. Though I'm pretty sure it would go better because there would be a lot less people trying to get into FCon than there was for Tanacon. It's okay, we mostly talked about fish with sauce and the mermaid challenge. Hey, Mark Chat. Hey, Lana. Okay, so today's kind of a different special stream. Possibly not in a good way initially. I will address this really quickly because you will understand, but it's still pretty emotional and I really don't want to focus to be on that. Looking for a word. Well, anyway, thing is my mom passed very suddenly last weekend. It was unexpected and it was a very big shock, and as you can understand, it's definitely amongst the worst news one can get. And yeah, tomorrow is Mother's Day too, so that's kind of a lot of sad stuff. And I wanted to have the live stream today anyway because I wanted us to like spend some time together and to talk about fun stuff so that I can keep my mind on happy stuff for a while. So yeah, I wanted to see you guys because I mean, you guys make me happy and I always enjoy chatting about stuff and all that. So that's why I wanted to try and have this anyway. But I would really appreciate if we could stick to like fun topics like cats, paints, food, you know, our usual. But I just wanted to do kind of a disclaimer. So you guys, I know that with Mother's Day tomorrow, that might be a tempting subject, but if it's possible to just not talk about that. So yeah, so that's my sort of announcement disclaimer thingy. And yeah, I also added the text in the description. Oh, newticles are always good. Newticles, yeah. I just wanted to say that I added the little line about the safe word for the live stream. That's something we had discussed, and I think it's a really good idea, is that, sometimes we talk about a bit of everything, and if some topic at some point is really sensitive for you, we've decided that the words lumpy elephant are kind of the safe word. So if something is really affecting you, you can just type lumpy elephant in chat, and we will go back to talking about cats and paints and, really, really fun stuff that doesn't come with baggage. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at. The safe word is lumpy elephant. I think that was Mikey find that one. And it's such a random pairing of words that it's definitely not something that will come up in any sentence naturally. Oh, I hope it doesn't. So yeah, lumpy elephant is our safe word, and by all means use it if you have to. Oh, that's cool. Lee says, by the way, I got the best question from a friend today for the chat. If your pet was a pigment, what would it be? That's really, really funny. Can we talk about the freak snowstorm? Yeah, we can. I mean, who would have thought that we'd get below freezing temperatures in May? I had to think about it because I'm like, wait, what day is it? What month is it? How, what, where, when? Eh? I think in terms of pigment, I think Scout would be Venta Black. And I think Pico would have to be some sort of sparkly orange pigment. Yeah, I will use the safe word if I have to as well. Is there a pigment that is impossible to handle and gets everywhere really fast? Oh, Indent Throne Blue. PB60. The one I have is like super duper finely milled. It's a really, really light, beautiful powder, but really, really fine. And you just look at it and it's already everywhere. Rowdy would be Opera Pink. He yells at you while he claws you in the face. Yeah, that's accurate. Definitely would be whatever quinacridone burnt orange is. Or maybe PBR7. Quinacridone burnt orange, I think it's PO48. I think. Hey, Paulo! Well, Prussian blue also gets everywhere. I think both are very valid. What are my thoughts and feelings on mermaids? I don't have a particular talk about mermaids. I know one of the first movie I saw in theater was The Little Mermaid in '89. I quite like the idea, but I kind of like when it's a bit of a dark. Which is the blue snot one? Oh, that was Indent Throne Blue. That was the blue snot one. It's beautiful. I mean, the paint I made with that pigment, that Indent Throne Blue pigment, is one of my favorite. But good grief, like you know, the sacrifice you have to pay to be able to mold that paint is to accept that it's gonna end up everywhere. So you kind of have to clear your space or cover everything in in a tarp. I'm not saying that the Disney Little Mermaid movie is brilliant. I'm just saying that as a kid, that was like a very it came out when I was quite young, so it was, I loved all the merch and I thought it was fun, and I was always, even as a kid, I was always baffled that they put Ariel in that pink dress, because that, like, for someone with hair so red, that pink dress was really, really not a good pairing. Even as a kid, I was like, ugh. Oh no, the Yuzu tree got cancelled. No. Snot blue. It's called snot blue because it's so light that you would find it everywhere, including in your nose. Like if you blow your nose after mulling some intentional blue, it might happen that your snot is a bit blue. That's where it's from. I think it's quite fun to think of pets as pigment. What's the pigment for Lunar Black? Is it PBK11, guys? I think it is. I think any other color would have been better than that pastel pink on Ariel. They kept on having her in like pastel colors, and guys, when you are a redhead, if they put you in full-on pastel colors, you kind of disappear. Yeah. I think it's PBK 11. So pigment black 11. What's the brightest, loudest yellow? That'd be Boba Fett. I think the cadmiums are quite bright. Some cadmium yellows almost look fluorescent, because they sit on top of the paper so well that the color really pops out. No, I don't mean that Ariel has a... Well, for that matter, all Disney princesses are kind of bad about that. A lot of them, they, pardon my French, but they jump on the first guy they meet. And I'm always like, please don't. Please no. But yeah, apparently... I kind of got really tired of Disney stuff now. They kind of lost me when they became full 3D. Like, what I really loved of Disney movies was the fact that it was hand-drawn animation, and that every new movie had a different style. Crawl Space Kitty is Terra Vert. You can almost tell she's... Oh no, that's a good one. Cough, frozen cough. Well, two things about Disney movies. First, I don't like all the singing in them. That's always something that bothered me, even as a kid. When I was a kid, I had Sleeping Beauty and Dumbo on beta tapes. And I've watched Dumbo so many times, and every single time there was a song in Dumbo, I couldn't understand that it was part of the movie. It felt like an ad, you know, like a pause in the movie, and I was like, oh, time to go to the bathroom, there's this weird, trippy song in there. It was a bit bitter later on. Like, some have great songs, like Mulan has Be a Man, which is kind of a classic. It's so silly. But, you know, I'm not big on songs, so when something like Frozen comes out, which is like absolutely a musical, it's not, like, it's not for me, not good. I actually did see some meta on her that made sense. She loves human stuff from the start, so she's not actually throwing her life away for a guy. She wanted to be a human anyway. Thing is yeah, I agree, but she sort of falls for the first guy she meets and then marries him and have kids with him, and it's just like, I guess it's a bit too old school to be comfortable right now. Schminkes Me Green. I think that's PG-7 and POI-3. Or something like that. Dumbo is a really weird movie, to be honest. And there's a song in there that's that happens when Dumbo gets drunk on champagne or some sort of sparkly wine, and he has this sort of LSD hallucination thing going on with the song, and like the elephants duplicates. If you search for it on YouTube, it's pretty, like, I think it's the most trippy thing I've seen from something that mainstream, you know. It's what the heck is going on. The song in Dumbo, the drunk elephant song, was like someone ate some bad granola and put, not some bad granola, I mean full on shrooms or whatever, like definitely something weird happened for that one. And I was just, oh, like, I remember as a kid, I must have been, what, 4 or 5, and I was like, I don't know. It's trippy to look at because the animation is well made, and you have all these elephants squishing and squashing and reproducing, and their body disappears, and then you have just a head that does weird stuff, and you're like, as a kid, it's absolutely mesmerizing, but it makes zero sense. And I could never understand, like, the lyrics in the song, so it always felt like, and then the movie goes on, you know? And I was just like, well, fine, it's your movie, you decide what you do. But Ferngully, it's Fievel Goes West, I think. Both are Don Bluth movies, I think. Not super intense about this. Yeah, Mulan did something a bit better with the songs. It was a bit more. I mean, Be a Man. That's kind of a really catchy song, and it's kind of interesting. Like, they use the songs as transition, so that's perhaps a bit easier to. But anyway, Dumbo is trippy AF. I never really got into Hunchback of Notre Dame because I think I was really hold on. I was really put off by how dark it is, and then you have the stupid gargoyles making fart jokes. That was kind of way too much for me. Are there any non-musical Disney classic movies? The Emperor's New Groove, I think, don't really. Well, it has the intro song by Tom Jones, but it's kind of good, you know. It's not really, and it's Tom Jones. I mean, come on. I really love that one, by the way. Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorite because it's so absurd and funny. I laughed so much watching that one. What else doesn't really have songs in it? Nah, Toy Story have. Of course. Fuck. Oui, allô? Oui. Mais non, mais c'est... Non, c'est pas un problème. J'ai pas à sortir. J'ai pas... Oh. Okay. Hey, I'm back. Hi, Jill. That was my grandma on the phone. She was all panicked because I told her that I was gonna try and find her fabric masks because she has a hard time finding any. And she called me kind of in a panic and she was like, I don't want you to go outside to find some masks. I don't want you to risk going into stores and all of that. And I was trying to tell her that I can do all of that without going outside, like from home, online, on internet. But my grandma is not, she's not modern. She doesn't really understand what internet is. So I was trying to explain to her and she was like, no, I don't want you to go outside. No. And I was like, it's fine. I won't go outside, I'll stay home and it will be brought to my door and I will get it to yours as well. So yeah, sorry about that. Sorry. Oof. Hey, Jill. Hi. Not Disney, but I've been on the lookout for the other movies made by the company behind The Secret of Kells. Oh, did you see Song of the Sea? Well, thank you, Otto. I actually I didn't know my grandma was looking for some. But yeah, I will find ways to get her a couple of fabric masks. My grandma is 92. I think she's pretty rocking for someone that's 92. I didn't see The Breadwinner. I'll have to check that out. Hey, San. Hi. Off Disney now to Hayao Miyazaki. Yeah. Ghibli movies. Oh, by all means, I think you will really love Song of the Sea. At least, though, get some Kleenex, get some tissues ready. The Breadwinner takes place in Afghanistan during the Taliban war, I guess. Huh. I didn't know they... Well, I mean, it's just that I didn't know they had another movie out. I'm not super up to date. For someone who studied cartoon animation, I am not really... I'm not, like, following news about animation movies. Okay. I will build a tissue fort in advance. Oh yeah, Song of the Seas is beautiful and great. Like, it's a good story and it's a beautiful movie. KK Slider and Singing on My Island. All the KK Slider songs are kind of bad. Like, I buy them and I play them and I'm like... This is the Stillman and Burn beta series. I think it's like 7x7. It's one that I want to test out more for watercolor sketches and swatches. For something like pen and ink and wash, sorry. Totoro, Nausicaa, and Laputa are my favorites. Otto, did you see The Cat Returns? Oh my gosh, you guys like the really dark movies. like the silly nonsense ones. Oh, you haven't seen it yet, Otto. You have to. It's such a feel-good movie, and it has cats in it. So what else could one want? I want like I think The Cat Returns is definitely one of my favorite animation movies, and then The Emperor's New Groove. So I really like the silly ones. I mean, not that the other ones are not good, but sometimes I just want to watch something and not cry. It's Grave of the Fireflies. But that's a really dark one. Ooh. That's like... Dude, if someone can watch Grave of the Fireflies and not cry or not feel absolutely awful after, that should be a red flag. Ghibli cats are wonderful. They are. And The Cat Returns is like chock full of cats. It's like that's all the cats. All the cats. Yeah, by all means, Otto, I think you can definitely skip Grave of the Fireflies, not because it's a bad one, but because it's a good one. But it's also incredibly like sad. And I will never, I mean, you cannot blame someone for not having the fortitude to watch that, because that's a very difficult one to watch. Funny thing is, Cat Returns is not from Miyazaki. It's from Studio Ghibli, but it's not Miyazaki who made it. It's someone else. I've seen Porco Rosso. That's Mr. E's favorite. I don't think I have a favorite Miyazaki movie. I think they're all impressive, but there's something that doesn't really quite vibe with me. But they're nice movies. They're great movies. But the one I've watched the most is definitely The Cat Returns. And I have like a couple of books about it and art books. And I mean, come on, it has like a billion cats in it. Definitely something for me. Darkest I'll get is Lord of the Rings. Yeah, The Grave of the Fireflies is definitely darker. It's one of the darkest movies, honestly. Where's my picture book? Because you know I have this, right? The Cat Returns picture book, which is basically just stills from the movie and the story. And yeah. It says original graphic novel by Aoi Hiragi, project concept by Hayao Miyazaki, and directed by Hiroyuki Morita. But yeah, look, all the cats! Look at all the cats! Hey, sunny day, hi! Muta is so awesome, like freaking big fat cat. And the thing is, I picked this up because I wanted to show you the one of my favorite thing about this movie is when you have cats that are cats walking on two legs, and they look so silly, and I loved it so much. Check out these guys. I mean, oh, that's like, you know, when you play with your cat and you have them standing on their hind legs, and they're all like, this is not natural, I don't like it. Dude, that cracks me up so bad. And they have all sorts of silliness, like the bodyguard cats or tuxedo cats. And like the king is a mess of a cat. Anyway, it's just So funny. So many cats in it. And I mean, I don't want to say for once because I don't have a really vast frame of reference, but the main character, the girl, is really, really fun. And I have a hard time, you know, sometimes finding them interesting, but she's really cool. So that was a really nice one. I can only recommend it. I like stupid movies that will switch my brain off for me. Oh, try this one, by all means. That's my favorite kind of movie, to be honest. She marries a cat. Well, you have to watch the movie. Like, it's a silly movie, so there's nothing really weird or jarring that happens in there. It's mostly just fun. But, yeah. It's a really, really fun movie. It's absolute nonsense. Just all the nonsense. Oh, it's good. I kind of want to watch it now. I remember watching The Cat Returns and feeling like it wasn't a Ghibli movie, but now I know it was a different director, so that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, the cats are really well designed, and you have all kinds of cats in there. You have Baron, who is more of an anthropomorphic cat, like he will stand up like a human. But yeah, all the other cats are actually more like cats, and when they stand up on their hind legs, they kind of look silly. So that's a good movie. It's some good stuff right there, guys. Yeah, Pompoko is about tanukis. Raccoon dogs. I wonder how anatomically correct for tanukis they made the movie. Oh yeah, that might be the case with The Crow. I mean, it's a really simple movie. It's just like fun, light stuff. So I am not really. Good grief. I'm trying to pick up. Okay, good. Like images of cats on Google, and the first line was like ads, and I was like, how is that even related to cats? But it's just ads, so it doesn't relate to anything. It's basically just trying to sell me nonsense. Ew, Cats the musical. No, thank you. Palace. Let's check out Palace Cats. I don't miss animating. Lee says, "Do you ever miss animating?" I don't miss it. Because it was really stressful and difficult, and I was not really a natural at it. So that means even more stress. But Dude, this cat is like 100% fluff. How am I supposed to figure out the structure under there? Hey, welcome back, Dan. Oh, back with strawberries. What? Ah, I want to draw strawberries. I want to draw fruits today, I think. That's a good idea. Oh, man. They always look so delicious. And then you buy some at the grocery store and they kind of look just eh. I wish I could have some. I really like Muta too. Muta is the really big cat in The Cat Returns. He's like a big curmudgeon cat, grumpy and everything, but he's also really, really like a big tomcat. Oh, I take my strawberries plain. Very plain. The Cats musical is well, the movie is actually very unsettling. I mean, I'm someone who really likes cats, but I really don't like musicals, so I guess the fact that it's cats wasn't enough to garner interest. Ah, what? No. What? Salt on strawberry. What? Why do people put salt in everything? I swear. Like sea salt and caramel chocolate. No, please, no. Caramel and chocolate, fine. Why the salt in there? Are you not a jellicle cats? What is that? I get the chat. I got the chat stalling on me a couple of times before. Maybe trying to refresh would fix it. Oh my gosh, is Idris Elba in the film? Though, I mean, he kind of stepped out of favor by being a COVIDiot. Like, that's kind of like, meh. No. Bye. As Alaska would say, bye. It's been a while since I drew any kind of food. But it's kind of a really relaxing thing to do. It's a cat's thing. Oh, okay. I think that the people who made the Cats movie were dog people. Ah! Possible. Jellicle Cats is from the Cats musical. Blech. I don't. No. Just no. Oh yeah, I watched a lot of Drag Race. It's been kind of boring. Like the latest seasons, because not much changes. And I mean, last season of Drag Race had some really weird queens / controversial. There was one that was quite loved apparently, but I couldn't stand her, so that's kind of that makes watching it a bit tedious. Like the person would be praised so much for doing something, and people were like laughing at their the performance on like a Snatch Game, and I was like, this is not funny, and they're like, oh, she's so funny, and I'm like, where? Well, that was a bit difficult, but aside from that, yeah, I think Willem was one of my favorite queens because he didn't really care, and that was fun. Isn't the latest season the wait, what? I haven't watched the latest season. Oh, chat, what are you... YouTube, why are you so difficult? What's Drag Race? It's sort of a competition show featuring drag queens. And I think it starts with something like 12 or 13 drag queens. And they have challenges every episode. And one queen gets removed from the competition every episode until there's only 3 left. And then there's a special episode, and the host of the show, who's also a drag queen, chooses a winner. I think it's quite interesting because it's different. Like instead of being semi-regular human being insufferable, it's a bunch of drag queens, so at least they have usually like personality, and they are possibly more engaging because a lot of them are used to giving a performance, you know. So it's in my opinion, it's a bit more interesting than watching a bunch of young adult being not super intelligent. It's like Project One Way for drag queens. Did they really do that? Oh, yeah, hold on, let me go get Mochi. Mochi, Mochi, Mochi. A part of me is terrified that I'll put paint on him. And I don't want to put ink or paint on him because he's so light and white and floofy. But hold on, let me... Come on, boy. Whoop! Hello! That's a really lovely corgi, huggable, squishable. Much appreciated right now, friend. It also has a butthole, which cracks me up a lot. This season is almost a scrap because of having to edit out the queen that... Oh yeah, I heard about that. That was a bit too much drama. Yeah, I got snow today. I don't want to talk about the snow. Right, so I'll keep Mochi with me. Hopefully I won't put paint on or ink on him. Maybe I should... I should sew kind of a small apron for him. No! I'm loving it. I think I would have been disappointed if there hasn't been a butthole, because I have 2 cats. I see cat buttholes all the time because cats are just like, ooh, I'm happy, look at my butt. And you're like, yeah, I've seen your butt. It's there. It's always there. This season of Drag Race is so bad due to it having really talentless. Yeah, well, that's always subjective. What you might see as the talentless queens. Alright, is it back? Yay, what the heck? Mochi fixed it. Oops. Would help if I had a view of the chat. I'm here. Is it still cutting? What's happening? Mochi fixed it. Through the power of his eyebrows. Hello. Well, yeah, let's blame the snow. Let's blame 2020 for everything this year. Honestly. Blech. Audio seems more stable. Oh, great. Because I'm not sure I would have known how to fix that. Yeah, oh my gosh, 2020 is like, people were losing their mind over the year 2000, and now it's like 2020 is like nightmare. Like, dude, the year 2000 was a breeze compared to what we're getting now. I can see your messages, Melissa. I don't want to shop strawberries. Stop it. I kind of want a similar interesting assortment of strawberries, but it's either desserts or desserts, anyway, sweet stuff, or just a great big pile of strawberries. Ah, strawberry mochi. It's on my bucket list to try eventually. Can you imagine a fresh strawberry in mochi? Sounds amazing. Yeah, I don't even want to welcome 2021 at this point because I'm sure it's gonna be even worse. Even worse? Like just nightmarish. Guys, the whole internet is held together by one shaky paperclip buried somewhere in the earliest infrastructure, and you can find it. It's Clippy. Do you guys remember Clippy? Yeah, I think the images only says strawberry mochi recipe, but it looks to be that daifuku. I will draw those. They look great. I always feel a bit bad when I'm like drawing Japanese food because I always feel like I'm cheating. But I'm like, guys, your food looks so good. I'm sorry. I want to draw it. It looks amazing. Like the food of my people is stews and like pies, like meat pies and stuff. It's not pretty. It doesn't look good. I don't want to draw that. But here you have like the Japanese people who have made it kind of an art, and I'm like, oh. I know I can make it at home, but I don't have a microwave, and it's kind of it looks really complex to do in not with a microwave. I did make mochi when I had a microwave. Did you know strawberries and black pepper go remarkable? What? Alright, I am team plain strawberries. I don't want anything with my strawberries. Just give me them plain. Not in a salad, not with salt, not with sugar, not with... You know, it's kind of like people who will take grapefruit and eat it with sugar. I'm like, what's the point? I thought the point of grapefruit was to be so, like, bitter that your face goes inward. I thought that was the point. So when you had sugar on top of it, what's the point now? I'm grumpy, okay? Yeah, no microwave. It bit the dust and we sort of didn't buy a new one. What's the difference between the mochi around the daifuku and regular mochi? Grapefruit are like good. Oh wow, that's so weird, Melissa. Steven is team plain strawberries too. Mochi is made from steamed whole mochigome, so mochi rice, that is then pounded. The stuff around a daifuku is called gyuhi, and it's made out of fine powdered rice, usually shiratamako and sugar. Is it kind of a doughy mix too? Or is it more like a paste? I think I've only ever had mochi. I have some mochiko flour in the pantry. That's what I use to make mochi in the microwave. It was really easy to do in the microwave. You basically just mix the rice flour with water, and you put it in a pot that goes in the microwave, and you put like salmon wrap on top, and you microwave it. Like you microwave, you stir it, and you microwave again, and you pour it, and it's done. So daifuku is a much softer, smoother, thinner consistency. Mochi is much heavier. Huh. Oh, Phoebe, I have that issue with raw tomatoes. For the life of me, I cannot eat raw tomatoes. I'm always curious what else I can do with mochiko, because I have the mochiko flour, but I'm like, I don't have a microwave, and I'm not like too interested in going the really long way of making mochi. So I'm like, what can I do with my mochiko flour? And it's just there in the pantry. Mochi made from steamed mochi rice. Gyuhi made from finely powdered mochi rice. I don't know any of these Japanese. Well, you can Google them, Lise, and then you will know about them. Dude, how does salt enhances the sweet? That makes no sense to me. Like, no, salt tastes like salt. Now it tastes salty and sweet. How does it enhances anything? I don't get it, guys. It completely baffles me. Like, I've heard of people eating Granny Smith apple with salt too, and I'm like, why? It's already like insanely like sour. Why would you sort of fight the very small amount of sweetness in it with salt? Why? I don't it's something that escapes me in here. No, it doesn't. It just tastes like salt. What? What? Oh my gosh, what? No. No. No, no, no. You're killing me here. Everything with salt. Ah. I find it so funny. If you guys like it with salt, by all means, go ahead. But it's just so funny because it's like, I don't know, it just makes me laugh too. It feels kind of counterintuitive to me personally to pick up a slice of watermelon and then sprinkle salt on it. I'm like, what? No, sprinkle salt on French fries or like your dinner, not what? I don't get it. I don't get it, but it's okay. I know it's not the opposite of sweet. That's why I don't understand. Because it's like, well, the thing now tastes sweet and salty instead of being just sweet. I don't really see the salt as improving the sweetness of anything. I think we add salt to cookie though for the chemical reactions in the cookies. That's my take on it. But I usually kind of really lessen the amount of salt in certain recipes. I'm good enough by now with recipes that I can evaluate a recipe and be like, oh no, that's way too much salt, and put less of it. I don't really like salted caramel. I would prefer to have like regular caramel, unsalted. Yeah, same. I don't really need salt to taste the sweetness. I mean, I like salt in things, just not sweet things. That's just my personal preference. Let's not start a war in the chat about that. Oh no, my phone has fallen asleep. Wake up, wake up. I lost my picture of strawberries that I was doodling. Where are you, strawberry plant? Where are you, strawberry plant? Did I scroll too far down? And oh, there it is. I've spent too much time on that doodle. This is supposed to be like a few second sketch then. I told you my feelings on salted caramel. I prefer my caramel unsalted. Like, no salt on my caramel, please. If I can have my say about it, I will take the one without salt. If there's only salted caramel, I might eat it anyway because, like, come on, that's still caramel. But might not eat as many as if it was unsalted caramel. Oh no, don't send me sweets with hints of salt. That's Mr. E is gonna end up with all of them. I just don't like, even in cookies. Like, I made a batch of cookies recently, and the amount of salt they asked to add in the recipe was too much salt for me. It tasted too salty in general. Like I could have done with half the salt in there. Hey, bye, Francis. Try to think what is my favorite flavor combo. I really like vanilla and stuff. Cinnamon too. Like, I will often add a bunch of cinnamon and more vanilla to recipes like cookies and cakes because I really like those tastes. And to me, to my perception of them, they don't clash with whatever they're in it. I might be a super taster. Like, I can't hear well and I can't see to save my life. So I like to tell myself that my sense of smell and sense of taste is maybe a bit more developed to compensate, just a tiny bit. That's okay, we at least will never have to fight over caramel and salted caramel. Precisely! Precisely. That's perfect. In my book, that's perfect. No fight. So if we get a box of chocolate that has a random assortment, dude, we're gonna be like super, super happy with the outcome. I don't remember, well, I know, Otto, you won't do anything with mint in it, but do you do orange and chocolate? Be right back, gonna go make salted cinnamon hot chocolate. Well, enjoy it for us. There's the thing also is that I don't. That's something I've started doing more recently because, like, the human body needs salt to function properly. But I used to never add any salt in anything I cooked, just by force of habit, you know. And eventually, like, sort of realized that I was probably not having enough salt. Yeah, I know, sounds kind of weird in today's world, but yeah. So I started sprinkling a bit more salt, and yeah, there's quite a few ingredients, quite a few things that taste better with the added salt, like French fries and all of that. But I don't salt my sweets. Oh no, well, I mean, I'm always gonna taste the things. And if I'm like, oh, that's really too much for me, well, Mr. E likes everything. Oh, you love orange and chocolate, so that's another one we won't have to fight over. So we are definitely the best pairing for those assortments of chocolates. Like, we won't fight over the same ones. That's perfect. Oh, ginger hot chocolate. That sounds lovely. Yeah, it's probably good for my blood, but not good for my heart, because the heart needs a bit of salt to function. Hey, Ellen! I might need a salt lick, honestly. And yeah, I kind of have blood pressure issues, like too low blood pressure. So there's definitely a thing that I might not eat enough salt on a regular basis. Because if you think about it, if it's a day that I don't eat anything that has been prepared, like any kind of processed food in any way, it won't have any salt in it. Even stuff like peanut butter, we usually get the natural peanut butter without salt. Bread, if it's like the bread I've made, it has a tiny pinch of salt in a whole loaf, so that's not a lot of bread. If I make my own sauce for stuff, I don't tend to add salt in it. So it was kind of adding up to not there being a lot of salt. So now I try to remind myself to add a bit of it at times. Sorry. Orange and chocolate is an abomination. Everyone else can have mine. I don't do orange and mint. It feels like you just brushed your teeth and then you realize you had a piece of chocolate left and you didn't think and you ate it. And then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Gross. Chocolate with mint and... oh, good grief. Oh my gosh. Ew, why would I put bits of salt in my water? Nickel. That will be like taking a mouthful of seawater. Low salt also affects your nerve conduction. Yeah, too. Lee says I'm the same. I have had to up my salt intake. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the same one. Said that I'm not the only one. Those are the three I feel I always add salt in my pasta water. Potato, I don't add it in the potato water because from what I've read, it takes longer for the potatoes to cook if you add salt in the water, but I will add the salt when they're cooked. It's like lemon water. I like lemon water. That's tasty. I get the powdered lemon juice because for some reason my lemons always go bad. I always forget about them. But it has to be cold water. Dude, hot lemon? Who decided that hot lemon was a thing? I'm gonna make so many enemies from disliking so many things. You guys are gonna reject me on account of weird tastes. Nonsense! Yeet. Uh, another point of fighting, like friendly fighting, is what do you put on your ear of corn? I've always eaten my corn, like the ear of corn, plain, because over here we get sweet corn when it's in season, and it's actually quite sweet naturally. But there's quite a lot of people who will like douse that in butter and add salt and pepper on top, and I'm always like, oh, first of all, the butter really smells gross, and then your face is full of butter and salt, and I'm like, bleh. Hot lemons are good for fish, really? Oh my god, hot lemon is good. No, we're gonna fight again. Oh yeah, lemon and fish. That's a pairing of taste that's good. But hot lemon tea, I cannot do it. I can't. Oh, good grief. I am never going to reject anyone for leaving me with bigger amounts of food to eat. My parents would get corn in a cup, topped with mayo, hot sauce. Oh, good grief. That's a salad. That's a full-on salad. What's an elote? What I like is that we have so many varying tastes that if all of us ever were at a potluck, there would be something for everyone. Like, there wouldn't be fighting. There wouldn't be one plate that has nothing in it anymore and all the other plates are full. Like, our tastes are so varied that we would end up like eating everything. I borrow ascorbic acid from work so I can add it to my water iced tea. So it's basically vitamin C. I need to start drinking more lemon water. I tend to forget to do it. I think the one that is the most noticeable though is when, like, I can feel it when I haven't had enough iron for a while, because I will get like absolutely exhausted in the middle of the afternoon, and that's kind of a telltale sign that I need to correct that. Y'all can have all the anchovies that aren't turned into Worcestershire sauce. Mr. E likes anchovies. I'm not big on them. I think Otto really likes anchovies too. I eat them out of the can. No, they're super healthy for you. And in terms of meat source, stuff like anchovies and sardines are great choices for people who don't want to go vegan, but still want to have a much lesser impact on the food chain out there. Because stuff like anchovies and sardines, they're small fish. They're quite easy to raise. They don't require like an insane amount of resource, and they're super healthy for you. They have all the good oils in them, and all of the fishes that you eat the bones, like, they provide you with calcium, I think, because you eat the bones. So yeah, that's I mean, if you have to eat that, that's a good choice. It's just like, if you don't like it, well, you don't like it. That's fine. It's hard enough to deal with food and food sensitivities as one gets older. I'm not about to guilt people for liking certain things or not. I think there's something like always interesting, regardless of what you decide to eat. Like, I've never seen the point of making people feel bad for what they eat. I think that's not productive, and it ultimately, if you want to steer them towards something that might be a bit healthier, that's not the way to go, in my opinion. I do like herrings though. Dude, I once made the mistake of cooking, that was a long time ago, but it was kind of a meatloaf but with fish in it. It's a main recipe, and I kind of wanted a fish that wasn't too expensive, so I got smoked herring. Dude, the apartment stank up of fish for so long. What? Wait, what? What's up, Otto? What? Otto is like, okay, hold up the chat. Ev, I think we are having our first friendship crisis. Salt! We need to talk! Because I love salt and salt everything I make, within reason, obviously, and this salt issue is going to... No, I mean, I love salt. I was saying that I don't eat enough salt because I don't have the... I wasn't really raised in the mindset of adding salt on food, so it's not something that comes naturally. I have to think about it. And sometimes even it's Mr. E who comments, like, say I forgot to salt a stew, and he will be like, oh, it's delicious, but it's kind of lacking salt. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to put it in. I don't have enough salt, so yeah, that's something that I have to consciously try and eat more of. So I think it's gonna be fine. Crisis averted. We're good. We're okay. I mean, I might stop you before you add salt onto my slice of watermelon, but aside from that, I take vitamin B12 and vitamin D. Oh, mind you, I forgot to take my B12 a lot, but I take vitamin D supplements. And I know that when I take the iron supplements, I kind of feel better really quickly. So I'm pretty convinced that it's at least part of the issue, you know. But yeah. Yeah, we're still friends. I mean, everything is good. Christ, I got nothing against salt. I might not want it on my fruits, but that's... I mean, it's easier to not put salt on something than to remove it, so yeah. But for any kind of savory dish, usually salt is kind of needed in there. I just forget to do it because it's not second nature. But I need to... I really need to try and remind myself to salt my food more. Sometimes I don't put salt, but I know I'll be eating it with like shoyu, so I'm like, well, shoyu is pretty salty, so I don't really need extra salt on top of things. But yeah, that's about the only thing. I take a whole army of supplements. Yeah, dude, that's... Me too. I'm at the point where I take quite a bunch of meds in the morning and at night. Some of them are like actual meds and some of them are supplements, but yeah, and like it's summer, so antihistamines are like back in season and quite needed. I felt like I was gonna... Like it's always the question these days are, am I catching COVID or is it just my allergies that are making me feel this bad? Because it's like raw throat and a bit of coughing, and you know when your face feels hot and it's almost like feeling feverish, but it's not, you know, if that makes sense. Full veggie. We put soy sauce on sweet corns, then grill it a bit more so it's a bit burnt. We usually don't grill corn. Well, I've always eaten it boiled or steamed. Dominic says, oh my gosh, I know, right? My allergies are making me more of a hypochondriac than ever. Yeah, this year it's quite bad because since most allergies are airborne particles, they affect the respiratory functions and tract and all of that. And that's also kind of like the symptoms of COVID. So this year it's really, really bad to, like, you sneeze in public and everybody wants to throw you rocks. And you're like, no, that's just my allergies. Please don't throw me rocks. I'm not sick, I swear. There's a bunch of notifications on there. What's up? Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna check later. It's not a... Alright. Triple dose of cod liver oil. Vitamin D3. Multivitamin with iron. Whoa, okay. Well, I mean, if that makes you feel better. That sounds that's quite nice. Every cough, sneeze, feeling a bit warm, and out comes the thermometer. I agree. It's never been used as much before. I'm bad though. I keep forgetting to take my supplements. Well, Dominic, if it's airborne, we never know. Haven't been able to get any more nutritional yeast since COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Oh, and nutritional yeast is so delicious too. It really adds a lot of flavor to stuff. And I'm petting Moochie right now. Oops. Ellen says, I don't have much in the way of seasonal allergies. That's a blessing. But strong scents get to me. So I started coughing in the pharmacy because my washable masks smelled of laundry detergent. Oops. I started coughing in the pharmacy as well the other day because they make you disinfect your hands as you come in. And for some obscure reason, the stuff they had on at that moment was really gross. I think it was kind of a mashup of a bunch of products plus water at the bottom of the jar. And it smelled awful. It was like lavender and ass. That was the smell. And I was like, I had that on my hands and I like, oh, I can't disinfect them. And then the smell hit me and I'm like, oh! And the smell was so bad that it made me cough too. So I was trying to not cough too much, but every time I would catch a whiff of my hands, I would be like, and sound like I'm dying. But it's just their disgusting, gross product. I agree that eggs smell weird. I don't know why. I usually am okay with eggs, but lately it's been more difficult. Plenty of yeast to make bread. Oh, I need to buy more pizza dough yeast. Sunlight makes you sneeze. Are you a vampire, Dan? I think you're a vampire. Yeah, I wasn't coughing, I was retching. Yeah, you're ginger-ish. Oh my gosh, what is it with all the guys being like, I'm not a ginger, and then their beard sort of sprouts and it's like full-on ginger? Egg yolk, runny or cooked? I think I kind of prefer cooked eggs. I don't like, you know when they make omelette and it's kind of gross on top? I can't do that. Like, it has to be cooked through and through. I would rather have a dry omelette than one that has the gooey stuff. Because that's just gross. That's like snot for real. Oh, come on, Stephen. Don't do that. Don't. People struggle enough to figure out things they can eat. Don't go around making people feel bad for what they can and cannot eat. That's not nice. Some men have multicolored beards. Yeah, Mr. E has a multicolored beard too. Like, his hair is brown, no doubt about that. But when the beard sort of grows in, you can see like ginger hairs and now white hair and brown hair. Runny so I can dip my toast. I used to like that, but now, ugh. Now I think that the smell that bothers me. So I prefer my eggs through, cooked all the way through. Oh. You know, guys, I don't do diet shaming in my stuff because it's such a complex issue that I don't feel anyone is. No, I know you're not talking about Mikey, but it's not great to make Mikey feel bad for whatever few things she's able to eat properly. My oldest son has dark brown hair and is pure ginger everywhere else. See? See? People are all like, ugh, gingers, blah, 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 ginger, ooh, gingers are bad, blah. And watch out how we will make a heck of a comeback when all the recessive genes get paired together and like half the population is suddenly gingers. That's gonna be glorious. I'm so gonna be there for that, I hope. Okay, let's hope all of this is dry. So just for the sake of the observation, but this is my platinum carbon pen. You guys are probably familiar with this one. It's the affordable waterproof ink fountain pen. That's really fun to use, really easy to carry, and I haven't used this in easily like 3 months, and it was perfectly fine, which is also why I like it. Oh yeah, you can be an honorary ginger, Nicole. Yeah, I'm just like, whenever you start googling like, are ginger, why do gingers something, it's always like nonsense. Like, why do gingers stink? And I'm always like, wait, what? Hold on, what? And it's always like, do gingers have souls? And I'm like, I'm sorry, come again? What's up with that? Okay, nice. Mine just ran out. Yeah, it's a really nice fun pen, like super affordable, waterproof. You just gotta let it dry, but it doesn't take too much time, unless you're using like really like paper that is really not absorbent. But if you're painting on watercolor on top, you kind of need the absorbent paper. So yeah, it's really well suited to watercolor. Okay, so Dan is not a ginger. You kind of look like a ginger on your picture, though. I have Mochi squished between the table and me, like over here. It's so comfy. Oh, they need to be painted. I don't know if they could be cute stickers. I really wish there was a way to produce that kind of stuff on a really, really small scale that is not too intense for anything, because, you know, don't people don't really I don't know, it's kind of a weird time to be to be putting stuff out there for selling, because like people lost all their jobs. People have no money, and I'm always like, the kitties are sleeping. They're both in the bedroom. Pico has stolen my other shirt like this because of the texture in it, and Scout is burrowed under a blanket. I love Mochi. It's such a great comfort, and so fluffy. I would be fine with printing them myself, but my printer is on its last leg, so quite unpredictable. I'm really fine with cutting stickers on my own. I think it's quite quite of a zen activity to do. Like, it's really calming. But yeah, I used to do it, but then my printer sort of stopped working on me. And I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, I think Scout is quite smart too. She's the smartest of the two for sure. But she's always been a burrowing cat. She needs to be nested underneath stuff. Is he fluffy? I think he's more like squishy fluffy. You should have seen him when he came though, because it was kind of funny. I opened the box and he was vacuum packed. So like you can see, well, you can see how big Mochi is at this point. Like it's quite a substantial squishy thing. Well, he was about the size of this pad, like, and about like this thick. It was all vacuum packed, and I was like, what? And the moment I opened the vacuum packed thingy, he went poof, and he inflated super fast, and I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why vacuum packed things are always funny, but they are. It just cracks me. Oh, and you're gonna, I don't know if you're gonna laugh, but it made me laugh. But the way he was vacuum packed, you could see his face and his butt at the same time, and that was like hilarious. That was hilarious. So the paints I'm using today is an assortment of Holbein paints that I wanted to put together to play with. So all of these are cadmium paints. All the cadmium red, yellow, green. Over here I have cobalt colors. So green, turquoise, blue. And these two have phthalo greens, these two have phthalo blues. And that's kind of the swatches you saw when I was on the phone. Sorry, say that again. Is it the part that that I said that the way Mochi was vacuum packed, his face was right next to his butt? Like it's as if they had folded him in a U shape, like a U shape, and then vacuum packed him. I think that was kind of funny. I'm really not familiar with cadmium colors, so I think that's interesting to take them out and play with them a bit and see what kind of mixes can be done with these. What made me choose those? Poison palette. I think part of it was me trying to take the just to go the opposite way of like the opposite of the non-toxic paints, just for fun, and also because I'm not familiar with these, and I think someone recommended mixing like one of the cadmium reds with one of the phthalo greens, I think, and I was really curious, and I was like, and then I realized that the only brand that I have cadmium colors in is Holbein, which is perfectly fine because I love them. So I set this up. Poison palette, that should be the name of it. You use your new paints on that handmade paper. Oh, awesome! Oh, that's such a relief. Did you try, Amisha, did you try the small pad of cotton paper too? Where did you get that cute metal palette? On eBay. It's one of the Hyung-il Korean aluminium palette. Aluminum. In French we say aluminium. But it's small and light. No, they're actual cadmiums, and there's a vermilion in there. With vermilion is just a cadmium color, so there's that, but hold on, let me check the lineup here. I don't know if you guys can see, but at the top, that's all the colors in the palette. So it's cadmium red purple, cadmium red deep, cadmium red light, cadmium red orange vermilion, cadmium yellow orange, cadmium yellow deep, cadmium yellow light, cadmium yellow pale, cadmium yellow lemon, cadmium green pale, which it's basically because it has cadmium yellow in it, and same for the cadmium green deep. And then we get out of the cadmium colors, this is cobalt green, cobalt turquoise, cobalt blue, and then I have bamboo green, viridian hue, which are the phthalo greens, and then phthalo blue yellow shade and phthalo blue red shade. And yeah, that's the content of that palette. No, there are cadmiums. Sorry. They're actual cadmium colors. They might have hues, but they also have I know they have vermilion hue, but they have genuine cadmiums. Oh, I'm glad you tried the paper. Did you like it, Amicia? How was your time with the cotton paper? Oh, Ellen, you mean for the store, right? Holbein don't do cadmium hues colors. Yeah, that's what I thought, right? I don't really remember them. Daniel Smith has hues. M. Graham has genuine cadmium. Winsor Newton, I won't even address them. You got Stonehenge paper? Aw. Okay, I need to keep up with this though. Oh my gosh, Nicole, that sounds huge. Yep, I went nuclear on my drawer of catalogs. I've been going in alone to paint and freshen it. Oh, that's awesome. It's always nice to do sort of a big cleanup. Kind of difficult to do this year because you can't really, like... I would usually bring up the stuff that I get rid of for donation, but the counter is not open because it's operated by people and they don't want to get their people sick, which I can absolutely understand. Hues. I don't know, my brain is losing its English. Thing is, with Holbein is a really nice gouache. The acrylic gouache is great, but it's acrylic paint, so if you really want the opaque watercolors, like regular gouache, traditional gouache, don't get the acrylic gouache. Hey, welcome back, Alex. Those are Holbein paints. Like all the cadmiums, cobalts, and phthalo greens, phthalo blues. I quite like cadmiums because they are so vivid. They're really intense colors, like they are rich, they have that brightness, but sometimes they can be possibly a bit too opaque for the purpose you have them in mind. And they are also very expensive, so that might be prohibitive as well. Trying to find my other reference images so that I can, well, reference them, I guess. See, there are some really mutant strawberry pictures on there. Oh, and I completely forgot to paint the actual strawberry. Yeah, sure. Of course I would. Yeah, the did you see the swatches I showed in the beginning, Alex? Hold on, let me get the swatches again. I saw Toria and Victoria do these sort of mixing studies, and I decided I should do the same because it sounds like a really good idea. So yeah, those are the swatches of the colors in the palette. And yeah, they are really good. That was super nice. We were supposed to have French toast since our bread is a bit dated and our eggs are a bit dated. And some just made steaks. Yep, just like Frentoche. French. Well, you can have steak and French toast. That would be fancy. Dude, French toast with maple syrup. That sounds amazing. Classic mix-up steaks and French toast. I'm sure it would be delicious. I mean, cadmium colors are always expensive. An Oreo party. Oh, who was trying to make homemade Oreos last time? And how did it turn out? Otto asks, can you please give us some tips on getting on with sketchbooks? I just can't get on with them. What do you mean that you can't get on with them? Do you mean like you struggle with the format or the way it handles the paint? What bothers you about them? Don't really have kind of a magenta-ish color with cadmium, so it's gonna be weird to try and hit that pinkish color for the daifuku. Wait, virtual Oreos are color free, right? I'm in too. I'm in the virtual brownie party and the virtual Nutella party too. I have a love-hate relationship with keeping a sketchbook. Things always seem either not important enough to put into a sketchbook, swatches, etc. are too important. I think well, first of all, you don't have to use a sketchbook. I think it's kind of handy because it keeps all the papers together, but it's also limited in the sense that if you have paint drying on both pages, you cannot really move on. While if you use single sheets, you can always set the sheet aside to dry and keep on, you know, testing stuff, swatching stuff, painting stuff. Not too important, but the paper quality doesn't feel good enough. Well, it's not good enough, that's for sure. If you want to keep a sketchbook, you really have to lower your expectations. Because it handles paint really poorly, especially watercolor, because of all the focus on washes and water and all of that. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. I usually just lower my expectations and I try to work with the difficulties of the paper and the medium. You could make your own sketchbooks from good paper. That way it would feel better, but I would usually use them to put in stuff that I don't necessarily need good paper. Like for swatches, I can go from a swatch on, cellulose paper and use that for when I paint on cotton paper. It won't affect me. One thing you could try, I don't know if it would interest you as such, but I think these sketchbooks are quite affordable, the Khadi papers, and it's a recycled cotton rag, so it is quite heavily textured and its own thing, but it takes watercolor really well, and when you let the page dry, it doesn't really buckle any more than it was in the beginning. So that can be something you can get, because I don't think these are super pricey, and it's cotton paper, so it might be more along the lines of the kind of tests you want to make. So that's a nice one. Hey, thanks, Mark Chap. Oh yeah, Mallory's sketchbooks are made from like awesome paper, and I still haven't broken into mine because I'm like, I don't feel like good enough. You know, this feeling of like this is too good. I have to wait a bit more until I feel ready to use it. I don't know if it's the paper Jonathan Edwards used, possibly. Khadi paper. It's really textured and it's really like heavy, but at least it takes water a bit better than, you know, this one. This is, even if this is a good one, this is Tillman and Burn, but it cauliflowers. You look at it and it cauliflowers, like, because the water doesn't absorb in the paper at all. Well, if you look at these, I don't think I ended up with, is it gonna make me lie, but I don't think I ended up with a single cauliflower on all of these swatches. So yeah, it might be too textured, it might be like too rough as a paper, but it's quite nice for watercolor to swatch. And possibly do final art with it if that's your jam, but for me, I kind of leave I kind of like to make swatches in it. If you look at it in cauliflower, well, it does. It really does. Like, it doesn't even need help. You just... I try to work like more loosely in sketchbooks. Like, it's for sketches, it's for playing with paints, it's for just relaxing. But for if I want to get into something a bit more final, or like something a bit more detailed, I might not use a sketchbook for it. I have two of those. I also have the smaller one, and I use them both for like swatches and tests and stuff like that, because it's good paper, but it's kind of super textured, so I really don't know where to fit it in for illustration. But in terms of watching how a paint granulates or how it dries on paper, the Caddy paper is really awesome for that, because it's beautiful and it's super textured, and it's cotton, so it's not gonna be all crummy on you. Yeah, if you are in the UK, Caddy paper is really affordable. You can look on Jackson's, and it's really not expensive. We were talking about the Caddy paper sketchbooks. Like that. I love that it's made from recycled cotton rag too. Like, it's stuff that won't end up in a dump somewhere. Which, I don't know about you guys, but always makes me happy to feel like less stuff ends up being thrown into the dumps. Made a huge stack of sketchbook out of... What is SW paper? Oh, Saunders Waterford. Okay. This one I'm using right now is a Stillman and Burn. When I get to the UK, I'll stock up on Saunders Waterford eventually. For now, I'll keep on rolling with my good old Arches paper that is quite serviceable and affordable here. I think I saw a sheet of like Saunders Waterford the other day, and it was like, I don't know, something like $12 for a sheet, and I was like, I'm not quite ready to commit to that. That's still a bit too much for me. Oh, thank you so much, Fitz. When I'm there, I'm digging home. Oh man, awesome. A whole pile of arches. Yes! I'll have to repay you in like maple syrup or something. Or just purchase it from you. I mean, I'm all for having preferences in terms of watercolor paper, but honestly, as long as you find a cotton paper that you enjoy using, I think that's already a great start. It's already a really nice place to start. You take the maple syrup. Awesome! Oh yeah, shipping is I mean, you need to keep in mind that the Canadian dollar right now is really, 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 really sad and bad. And did I say sad? Because oh my gosh, it's almost legit twice. I have to like double the price of the pound to get to the actual Canadian dollar price, which is depressing. um, and yeah, and oftentimes Jackson's has a bit higher shipping for paper because it's bigger, it's heavier, and it also cannot take any abuse. So, oh, thank you so much, Phoebe. That's the only way I can find like life drawing and don't go mad is to be very, very, very casual about it. Like not put on myself any pressure and to really focus on trying to have fun with the subjects and the sketches and not try to I don't have the patience for rendering, so I really try to pack as much as I can in as few lines and brush strokes as I can, which is an exercise. I mean, it's quite a challenge on its own. Oh, thank you. I hope I didn't miss it too much. That's also part of the deal. Like, you have to be able to not consider these your babies, you know. Throughout my school curriculum, it was always about killing. You have to be able to kill your babies, which sounds kind of harsh, but it just means that no idea is actually that precious. And if someone tells you that your idea is not good, or it's not a good match for whatever you're doing, you have to be okay with killing that baby. So basically just being like, all right, fine, I'll change my idea. I'll edit it and I'll make it more to what the client wants, even if I think it's ugly and sucks. That's basically the sense of it. You have a paper collection, Jill. I have a paper issue. Oh no, Otto. Does anyone know of a resource to learn how to do those pet portraits that have rainbow colors? Fascinated as to how they... Wait, what? I've only seen mostly Sterling's pet portraits, and first of all, they are mind-blowing, and second of all, they're quite like the actual paper color of the stuff. And I would be quite what's the word I'm looking for? But I wouldn't assume it's too far of a stretch to say that you're probably not talking about the way Jean Haynes does her sort of colorful paintings. A 1,000 GSM. Oh my gosh, that's cardboard, right? That cannot buckle ever. After 10 years, that's still the hardest part of my job, doing what the client wants when it looks ugly AF. I know, right? I know. That was a bit that was a good part of the reason why I didn't stay in graphic design. Because I was absolutely awful at sort of predicting what the client wanted, and it was very difficult then to execute it if it was like quote unquote the ugly option. You know what I mean? Like it's the one you were like, you start studying that and you're like, oh, I have to propose like 6 options to the client, so I'm gonna put these 4 that I like, and I'm gonna put in like these other 2 that are really bad, but I need 6, so there you go. And you learn really quickly that you shouldn't do that, because for sure the client is gonna pick the one that you think is the worst, and then you're gonna be stuck working on that for the rest of the project. So it's at your expense. You lose in that situation. Yeah, that was lesson 1 of proposing ideas to a client. Right, I'm overkilling it. Also, a fun thing to do with that kind of sketches. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, of course. There is one thing in this space that I'm always looking for, except when I'm not. And then I find it and I'm like, oh yeah, I found it. I'm gonna put it there so that next time I need it, I'm gonna know where it is, and then I forget. So I'm always looking for this stuff. This one thing that I have no idea where I put, but it's a date stamp. And it's quite interesting to date your sketches, because later on when you scroll back through your sketchbook, you can be like, oh, I did that on that date, and you can sort of see a growth or not. Where are you? Where is the thing I'm looking for? How do you manage to be around except when I need you? How is that a thing that always happens? Why? Oh, that's not the proper one. Go to hell. Gosh darn it. found the one to censor stuff. Not the one I'm looking for. Oh. Want to bet? Do you guys want to bet that if I decide to not give a poop anymore and write the date by hand, I'm gonna find the stamp just after? Oh, I'm sorry. I always have this stupid pinky finger up. But it's mostly because it's in the way otherwise. So Nicole says, I had to make a whole series of frappe labels with Comic Sans font. I fought so hard, but they wouldn't accept any other font. At least I got them to keep the nutritionals in Helvetica. Oh my gosh. Comic Sans. Oh no. Hey, Okuni, hi. Dude, give me Helvetica or Times New Roman in any case, but not Comic Sans. You missed the Salt Wars of 2020. Oh, you do the pinky too. Alright, Team Pinky. Yay. Ah, freaking stupid stamp. It's always the same story. I'm like, I tidy up and I'm like, oh, there's my stamp. There's my freaking date stamp. And then I lose it again. I have a bunch of crap around here, which you're gonna tell me doesn't help, but yeah, I know. Oh well. Oh wait, is it in there? No, it's not. Where did I put it? It's a secret. Alright. Come on, Muchi, let's just date it by hand. What date is today? Today is the 9th. Right? You sound salty. Made of salt. That was a good one. Darth Salty. That's good. That's really good. Okay, so today's the 9th, right? Oh, bye, Jill. Have a great weekend. May something. I don't know what oh wait, I have my phone. You can tell that I didn't grow up with a phone in a way, because it's definitely not my first idea. Never, ever. I never realized that so many questions can be answered by looking on my phone. Or I don't have my phone with me. I find your lack of salt disturbing. Sud knows what date it is. Oh, I agree. Oh. 6 days to your birthday. Oh my gosh. Well, happy birthday. Oh. Kind of I forgot the thing in there. I forgot to paint the strawberry leaves on the the drink. I'm always sad whenever I see like these kind of drinks, because they're always, well, always, they're 90% of the time they're alcohol based, and I'm always like, oh, but it looks so delicious. Can I have one that doesn't have any alcohol in it, please? I don't really do alcohol. Alcohol. It's not my favorite. My goal in life is to become godmother to all cats. That's a good goal. That's excellent. Isn't it bad luck to... Is it? I've never heard that before. Alright, so let's set that aside for now. And let's play show and tell. What do you guys think? That's so nice when I said alcohol. I would have been a death metal singer with a really raw throat. There's a lady on YouTube that's really interesting because she's a voice coach, but her specialty is to voice coach metal singer, like heavy metal singer and death metal singer. And she shows them how to really make those sounds without abusing their vocal cords. It's super interesting. You can order the drink with virgin. I don't know. I don't really trust bars in terms of virgin drinks. Not because they can't make them, but because oftentimes they will really skip on the flavorful elements of the drink, like the juice and all that, and they will just give you a bunch of water. If you ask, like if you go to a bar and you ask, can I pay for a glass of juice? It will be half juice, half water, and it will cost you like $4. And you're like, dude, if I'm to pay $4, which is more money than the price of the juice bottle you're getting my glass from, can you at least make it just pure juice and not half and half? Like, what's this nonsense? So, these are beam paints. Lotta says, I used to share a flat with the death metal singer. Was helping him type up the lyrics for one of his albums. Let me tell you, they don't know what they're saying half the time either. Sorry. Oh, wait. It's a restaurant that does Korean Nordic fusion food. And very allergy friendly. Oh, wow. That sounds really interesting. Oh, I love this. This is cotton paper that has been waxed with beeswax. So it smells amazing. It smells like beeswax. And I keep sniffing it. Bars in Indiana won't do that to you. What, will it be pure water? Like, I've never been a big alcohol drinker. So whenever there were social gatherings and bars, I would always go to the bartenders and be like, can I just pay for a glass of juice instead? And it would always be diluted with water. Every single time. And eventually I was like, you know what? Yuck. Yeah, hold on, the really awesome lady who owns this company. Let me get my paper. Oh no, she didn't put her name on there. But it's an indigenous lady, like First People. Is that the my words are failing me? But she's based in Ontario, and she makes the paints according to her father's recipe. Her father was an artist as well, so she makes these watercolors, and she's completely plastic free. She uses like reclaimed wood like this to put some pans in it, Like this is just a paint cake. And slices of reclaimed wood like this. Everything is wrapped in waxed cotton. First Nations, thank you. I don't know why my brain just yeah, First Nations, that's what I mean. Sorry guys, it's just farted out. And that's the pans. They come wrapped in the same cotton, in the same beeswax cotton, and that's the paint. They're very nice. The gold is really legit. So Amisha says, no, they appreciate the non-drinkers there. Here, they're a big help at getting their drunk friends out of there. That's a very good point. And to be honest, I never realized why they wouldn't give me like my full glass of juice. I'm still paying for it. I make neurosonic beverages a basis for my mocktails. L-theanine. No, what is that? What is that? Oh. So these are the swatches of the beam paints, and I don't know if you can see how nice the gold is. Like the silver is a tiny bit more muted, but the gold is nice and shiny. I was like, mmm. Mmm. Oh, I hope you can order some eventually, Ellen. I will message you next time. I know that in the holidays, the winter holidays, they had a sale for like 20% off. If there's a similar thing going on, I will message you. And I want to paint with them on Manitoulin Island. Oh, well, that's where she's from, so. L-theanine is the bliss out ingredient in green tea. Wait, you bliss out when you drink tea? What? What? Wait, what? What? It says, well, I don't want to try saying the first part because I'm going to butcher it, but it's from Manitoulin Island. So, quite on topic. She has a really nice bundle at the moment because it's all about keeping creative during the quarantine and the confinement. So she has a bundle that's like $30. You get a set of primary, you get a few pieces of paper, and you get a brush. And I thought that was really, really cute. Oh, I would love to see Manitoulin one day. It's like when you get a glass of soda, 2 ounces of pop and 10 ounces of... I know. And like you take 2 sips and you're done. And you're like, oh. Amisha says, bartenders here often give designated drivers free beverages too. Well, alcoholic beverages? Wait, what? It's why green and white teas are so soothing, better than chamomile. I never really noticed, huh? Who else is gonna be so fed up with rainbows when this is over? I'm gonna be fed up with rainbows when this is over. I'm already fed up with rainbows. I have a couple of Jackson's random paints in here that I want to swatch. No free soft drinks. Okay, good. Good, because I was a bit like Like, you indeed have a drinking problem in a place where they offer alcoholic drinks to the designated drivers. That's not a good look. This one is, oh, yikes, what the heck? This one is supposed to be cadmium red. That's not a good look, cadmium red. Oh, why so weak? What's wrong with rainbows? Nothing's wrong with them technically. It's just that they are using an actual, like the drawing of the rainbow as the official sort of logo of the crisis, in a way, like the it's gonna be alright, or I don't know what's it is in English officially, but over here they have this ça va bien aller kind of slogan thingy, and they've associated it with rainbows. And it just, what? Come on, really wet. Oh. That's not... It's not a cute look. That's better. Otto says, oh, that thing! Here, being typical Scots, only one person in the entire area has bothered to put up a rainbow on their window. That's hilarious. Here it's quite common. I think there was kind of a really big push on that campaign in schools. So they had all the kids draw rainbows and the parents stuck that in the windows. It's gonna be alright. I'm like, oh, you don't know that. Obviously it's gonna be hell. I don't like the idea of self-delusion. So I don't really buy into that kind of stuff, because I'm always like, well, there's no way to know how things will pan out, you know. Wow, that's really weird. That's not a good look. That paint's been drying over there for like a couple of weeks, and it's quite gooey and not... It looks like chewing gum. Look at that. Ew. What is that? What is that? It's supposed to be like cadmium red something. And it's like goop me goop red something. Yeah, Picoty is a tea shop in the UK. Or a cat coming in. Hello, Pico. Okay, let me get the cat. I gotta get the cat. Salut, Pex. Non, viens, viens me voir. Viens me voir, bébé chat. Salut, Pico. Bro, bro, bro. On va mettre ça là-dessus pour pas que tu boives dedans. That was Jackson's home brand of watercolor. The red that doesn't want is from a tube. Pico is a snuggler when she decides she wants snuggles. When she wants snuggles, she's gonna be very, very snuggly. But if she doesn't want any, good luck. Hello, tu perds tout ton poil. You're shedding so much. Hold on, let's record your cute purr. You're gonna put snot on my camera. She's so happy. She's so happy. It's really cute because I think she enjoys. I think she can feel the love because she really enjoys coming up for her moment of fame. And the like the purrs and the scritches. Oh, I gotta take that away from her. Toothpicks and cats are not a good mix. Yep, a bit. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? See if I can sort of zoom out on Becca. A minute. Elevator butt, elevator butt. She's so happy. Yes, she's quite fluffy and she's very, very soft. It's Pico ASMR time. Oh, qu'est-ce qui passe? Yawn. Et ma belle minette. Ouais. You can see your cute face. You have such a cute face. Alright. What's the plan? She is very pretty. She's a very pretty cat. Hmm? Way. You like that? Of course I am pretty, Mom. Of course. Alright. Aw, and she's loving you too. Can you hear her purr? She's so happy to be there, even with the big lights, like, blasting her. Oh. Whoop. Alright, well, I will end this up here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here this day. It was really, really nice to spend time with you, and it was really nice to talk about silly stuff and Sault and our usual good nonsense. And I'm really glad I was able to show you Pico at the end of the stream and have some bit of a ASMR purring moment with her. And yeah, she's happy. So thank you guys for the stream. If everything goes according to schedule, like the usual stuff, we will have another live stream next weekend, next Saturday. Until then, I hope you stay safe, stay well. Wait, I'm trying to remember what was the big point last week. Well, take care. And yeah, if you want to keep chatting during the week, you can look up the Discord server. The link is in the description. It's a really nice place to hang out and chat during the week and share pet pictures and paint pictures and all sorts of stuff. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Best of luck with all the ongoing nonsense. And we will see each other quite soon. Bye bye. You want to say bye? You saw something outside, right?